On this episode, we review our recent trip to NDA Dance Nationals, which included a stay at the Springhill Suites at SeaWorld, lunch at Harambe Market, and a few more flower and garden dishes. Today is March 15th, 2024. This is episode 650 of the Main Street Magic Podcast.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts, Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Main Street Magic. I am your host, Jeremy Stein, and as always, I'm joined by my lovely wife, Rhonda.
Hey, guys.
Make sure you check us out on the web at mainstmagic.com, as well as follow on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at mainstmagic. If you've not done so already, head out to Facebook and search for the Main Street Magic community and ask to join. If you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, you get brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday. If you're planning that trip to Disneyland or Walt Disney World, you did not get the advanced dining reservations that you so desperately wanted. Have no fear, because Mouse Dining removes the frustration of booking Disney dining reservations, alerting you when they spot availability for your desired restaurant, date, meal, and time. Visit msmfriends.com to use this free service. And finally, if you're getting ready to plan that next Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Universal trip, maybe looking to go on a cruise or travel pretty much anywhere else in the world, head to mainstmagictravel.com and fill out a form for a free quote. Our travel services are completely free to you.
So today we are talking about our weekend and starting out, I guess, spring break with Lacey for her national dance competition in Orlando. So,
You want to talk about anything else first?
like where we are?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry guys, this is out a little late, but we came to end the girls' spring break with seeing my parents. And the last time we were up here was June, and
In Alabama.
In Alabama, thank you. Sorry, and I think everybody knows where my parents are from.
Maybe they're new.
Because of
Not
Amy,
from
Chuck,
where they live now.
Well, yeah, Chuck and Amy. But yeah, so we came here because the last time we were here in June, they had a slab of concrete. And now they have an entire cabin, 2-bedroom, 2-bath. And we were helping them move stuff in and get some situated and making this cabin almost a home compared to just a shell of a house.
Yeah, it's coming together. And so we're actually sitting out back on their back porch overlooking the woods of Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
If I thought Florida had rain. Holy moly.
Oh my
last
goodness.
night was insane.
Yeah, it started last night and not even just rain, thunder and lightning and bright lightning.
Yeah, it was nuts. And everything's still so new here. There's no window coverings or anything. So it was like a disco in the room at some points.
Yeah, it was crazy.
But yeah, so that's where we are now. And I think all the new construction in the pollen from yesterday is just killing me. So if I sound like Darth Vader, that's why today. My sinuses are going nuts. But we're going to start real quick, and we're just going to spend a little time about Springhill Suites. The one we stayed at was near SeaWorld.
Yep.
It was close. It was right down the road from the Hilton Orlando, where the NDA Dance National competition was happening. And one of the reasons we're going to talk about it is because we have stayed in a couple Springhill Suites. This is by Marriott. And we've noticed that they're very similar, and you get that a lot. You stay at a Holiday Inn Express, you stay at, different hotels, and they're going to be very similar. So this one is literally at the back door of SeaWorld. In fact, when you're in the parking lot, you can hear people screaming on the roller coasters. And we were on the back side of the building. If we had been on the front side of the building, you would have looked out your window and seen SeaWorld.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if it's theme park view or what, but
they don't have fireworks or anything.
No. So but it's, you could walk to SeaWorld from here.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
If you're looking to plan a SeaWorld trip, of course, Main Street Magic Travel can help you out. This would be a really great location.
Even staying here, Main Street can help you out too.
We've stayed at the Springhill Suites over at Flamingo Crossing.
Yes, we did.
It's one of our favorites. There's one spread all throughout the Central Florida area and could be very convenient whether you're going to SeaWorld, Universal, or Disney. Any of the Central Florida theme parks, any of the attractions, there's Springhill Suites by Marriott spread throughout. Rates usually, what we have found, can range between about $150 to $250 a night, which is a really, really good price. And they've got, most of them have two options. So the layouts are very similar.
Yes.
But you're looking at basically the layouts of how many people. So one has a king bed and a sofa bed, which will sleep 4. or you can get 2 queen beds and a sofa bed, which will sleep 6.
Yes.
Now, we first stayed at a Springhill Suites as a sister hotel to Town Place Suites at Flamingo Crossing years ago that we really love Town Place Suites.
Yes.
This one is a sister hotel to a Fairfield Inn by Marriott.
Mm-hmm.
And what that means is that they're going to share amenities such as the pool and the pool bar.
Yes.
They're going to have their own separate areas for lobbies, check-in, usually Starbucks. I think the one at Flamingo Crossing, they actually share breakfast as well, don't they? If I remember correctly, you have to come from Springhill over to Town Place. I'm not sure if that's the way this one was going with the Fairfield, but we had the breakfast in ours.
Yeah.
But before we get to that, talk some about the room layout and, if this may or may not work for folks, because I love and hate these room layouts.
It's weird. It is weird. I'm not going to lie about that. When you first walk in, there's like storage with a microwave, a refrigerator, and the ice bucket, and that kind of thing. Some
storage. I mean, this is where you're going to probably store your snacks and stuff. Yeah. But the addition of a microwave there and a larger fridge is nice. Yes. Especially if you're doing a longer than normal stay. I mean, we packed plenty of snacks.
We did. And
we have used for the microwave, but we have used it before.
And we learned that Springhill Suites does not have a full kitchen. We brought stuff that thought had a full kitchen and did not, so we cooked pasta and stuff in a microwave.
We did. It worked, though.
It did.
We made it happen.
Yep.
But, yeah, so all right, so you see your little, whatever we're going to call that. This is your area to have your snacks and have your fridge and all. And then what do we have to the right? And this is where I think, actually, if you're...
The couch.
Yeah, if you're here for work, it's great.
And then a table that has, like, where you can open, like, almost like a little window where you can open it and you can look into the 2 beds that are there. Or you can close it and then you just have some, I guess, privacy. I mean, depending on what kind of work you're doing, if you're making calls and stuff. Because it's just this little alcove.
Yeah.
And then you walk around the corner and then there's all the 2 beds. And then the bathroom is very strange because it's all along the left side of the wall and there's a toilet and sink. So it's very like airplane-y / cruisy.
It feels just like an airplane bathroom.
And then it's the tub and sink is separated by a closet.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
all like with doors and stuff, but just different and weird.
Is. Yeah, and if you go back to the couch that that Ron was talking about, where the desk is, the work desk, that's a pull-out couch, but there isn't a full separation. Like you're saying, I mean, you could open those window or those slider kind of like windows, and you would see through. If you close them, you're not getting full separation. So if you're
correct,
if you're looking there with a party of 6 and 2 people really need their own space, they're not really getting it, right? Yeah. It's strange. I mean, it's nice to have the 2 sinks. It is nice to say, all right, you got one area with a toilet and a sink,
and it's nice if somebody's showering and somebody has to use the restroom, or you're using the restroom and you're like, well, dadgummit, I need a shower.
It is, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. I'm trying to think of how to put this nicely. Do you not sometimes like to go to the bathroom and then immediately you're getting in the shower? You can't do that here.
Well, yeah.
I'm just saying.
I mean, yeah, if you go to the bathroom and then you, I mean, depending on the situation, I mean, yeah.
If it's just you and I, that's fine. But like my routine would be to go to the bathroom and then get in the shower. You can't do that here technically. You got to go to the bathroom, you finish up, and then you come out of that door, you walk around and go back into the other one just to hop in the shower. I like to turn on the shower. And then get prepared to shower.
I'm like, my vision right now
saying?
of you,
know what I'm saying?
Is no, because I'm thinking you just sit, go to the bathroom, and get up, and you don't do nothing else and get in the shower.
Well, obviously, I do something else before I get into the shower. But I'm just saying, I'm eliminating the process of having to get redressed or anything. And that point is all I'm saying. So, But I will say, I mean, they are spacious in the sense that, what was really nice is we had friends that were there because their daughter's on the dance team as well. Yeah. And they were staying as well. And it was nice that we could all hang out in
room.
that area where, again, like we've talked about before, when you have something like an added couch or added seating, it's nice when people can gather and you're not all just sitting on the beds.
Yes.
You know, I mean, even if
that's
it's just
true.
us and the girls now, it's nice to have a space that we could sit. You know, we put on the TV, we had some basketball on. They came up to visit.
And the TV was swivelly.
Yeah, which was
so
nice. So
you
it could swivel either
mhm.
towards the beds or towards the couch.
Right.
And we were able to sit there and relax and hang out. You know, the girls were all out, like either down by the pool or they were out just
Mhm.
messing around in the hallway. And we could sit there comfortably without having to be like, oh, yeah, you know, sit on our bed.
Right.
You know, so I thought that part was nice. Now, what is great about this, they've got actually it was a pretty decent pool with a small splash pad.
Mm-hmm.
They had a good splash bar down there,
Mhm.
full bar with food, which was
Yes.
decent. I mean, we
Yeah.
had onion rings and
Yep.
nachos one night, which are
Yep.
pretty good.
Mhm.
But where these places really come in handy, and this also we'll mention real quick before I forget, less than 15-minute, if not 10-minute drive to Disney World.
Yes.
And it was an easy one. I mean, it's a pretty
Yes, it
easy
was.
one.
Yes,
And we
it
left
was.
at times all throughout the day going to and from
Mhm.
that it was not awful. You are going to hop on I-4 a little bit,
Yes.
but
And
it
is
wasn't
going
too bad.
right. And I-4 always has
You're always
traffic.
going to slow down.
So it just,
Yeah.
I mean.
But again, I think 15 minutes tops.
Yeah.
And where that really comes into play is the included free breakfast.
Yes.
What do we have for breakfast? Because this is not continental. This is full hot breakfast
Mhm.
served from like 6 to 10 a.m. I think weekends
think
change
so.
a little bit by the half out. But
Something like
you
that.
have several hours to get a free hot breakfast. What
do.
type of options do they have?
Well, it's nice because I had some oatmeal, and I mean, when I say like a toppings bar for oatmeal, usually you just have like a few things like brown sugar and, you know, walnuts and raisins. Well, they had chocolate chips, brown sugar, walnuts, cranberry, or the raspberry.
Dried cranberries.
Thank you. Raisins with it. The clusters of
Oatmeal?
granola.
Yeah, granola and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was so many. There was like so many.
Yeah.
So it was awesome. And that I ate one day, and then they had your favorite, which
Yeah.
was
If you know me in Cape May Cafe, my favorite thing there is the taco bar. And they have the same thing here.
Well, they had sausage crumbles,
Mhm.
eggs,
Yep.
and then
Cheese, salsa,
but then they
sour cream. Then they
that
had
was
a
the
chipotle
toppings,
sauce.
but the hot food, because
Yeah.
you don't have to make a
No, but it literally sets you up in the sense where, I mean, they've got a sign that's like step 1, choose your bread. And if there's tortillas, you could get a
Okay.
bagel, you could get bread. You can choose nothing if you want.
right.
And then it's like step 2, get your eggs. Step 3, choose your protein. Because I'm guessing on other days they have, you know, bacon or ham or something maybe. And then literally with that, so I got a tortilla and they had sausage crumbles that day. I got eggs, I got sausage crumbles. They've got shredded cheese. Then they've got salsa. Then they have little squirt bottles of sour cream. They had a chipotle sauce and they had like a salsa verde.
Okay.
And they're good sized tortillas, more like a fajita size, but it was delicious.
Good.
And I love that for breakfast.
Good.
And then
I passed by that because
and of course
I
all your
didn't want that.
breads, you know,
Mhm.
and you've got like croissants, I think were there, and you had, I believe, some pastries. You've got your juices, all types of juices,
Oh yeah.
water,
Milk.
coffee, milk, and then you have a waffle station,
Yes, and they were the littler ones, so 4 of them.
but not Mickey shaped, correct?
Oh no.
Just small circular.
Yes.
Okay. And how
Yep.
were they? You did try one, right? Because I know Lacey got them one day. Did you try them?
I did. I thought it was pretty good. I do believe it is the golden malted,
Yeah.
which was really good. I think she just didn't cook it 100% long
I
enough.
was going to say, was it how it was cooked or the fact that it wasn't Mickey shaped, that it wasn't as good?
No, it was the fact the way it was cooked.
Because everything Mickey shaped does taste better.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I think the ears and stuff make it a little crispy, and
Yeah.
then of course it's softer on the inside.
Yeah.
So
There's also a Starbucks, proudly serving Starbucks in the
Yes.
lobby that is open 24/7.
it is, and they actually my new thing I've been drinking is a espresso shaken oat milk, and it was they could do that, and they had different syrups, so they could do a hazelnut. And it was fantastic.
Which is surprising because we go to a lot of places that have proudly serving Starbucks, and
Mhm.
we like to get the flavors, like the seasonal flavors, but a lot of times these proudly serving don't have them. or they don't
Yes.
have a lot of the stuff at a full Starbucks. And this really seemed to.
It kind of
But-
did. They had the chai because Nicole ordered that
Mhm.
for the girls, and then they had the acai,
Yeah.
which Lacey got to get
Yeah.
that. Now, it was a little different than actual Starbucks because these people are just kind of doing
Everything.
everything
Yeah.
but what is said to do, and like
They're following a recipe, you mean?
well, following
sense?
in the cup, like bring it to here and
Yeah,
bring water
yeah,
to
yeah.
here or lemonade.
Not a true barista.
Right.
Well,
so
here's the
her
thing is if
acai-
you go down there at 4 a.m, nobody's just standing at Starbucks waiting. They're
Right.
at the front desk, the check-in desk, and you go ask them. They will
Mhm.
either be prepared to come over and make it for you, or they have somebody basically, I feel like, that's kind of on call around the area
Right.
that they bring over.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not like somebody's standing there. But the one thing we talk about, and we just did a whole Disney prep series not too many episodes ago about staying on Disney property at a Disney resort, and there's still so many advantages.
Yeah.
But number one always is budget.
Yeah.
And whether it's this Springhill Suites or it's the one at Flamingo Crossing, which is much closer to Disney World because you're right there on Western Way, right behind Coronado Springs pretty much, and near the Animal Kingdom Resort area, is factoring in not only the price of a room, which here is running $150 to $250 a night. Over at Flamingo Crossing, you're probably at the $250 to $350 now. They've gone up a lot since we used to stay there
but there's
years ago.
so much over there.
There's so much over there now. So there's a cost savings. When you're paying, I mean, you're still paying Orlando prices, but you're
Mhm.
paying them at chain restaurants. There's a Skyline Chili over there now, which we still want to make it to at some point.
What?
Skyline Chili.
What is that?
It is chili. It's Cincinnati chili. It
Mm.
is a fast food style or fast casual restaurant that serves chili on spaghetti. That's the one that
weird.
Athena's friend is the proproprietor.
Okay.
And she told us we need to go there. She said it's amazing.
Is there other things than chili? Because I don't
I
really
believe,
like
yeah,
it.
like hot dogs with chili.
Oh, can I?
No,
not
you need
get
to try. I think you need to try this chili though. It's a Cincinnati style chili. You
Okay.
get it on spaghetti, and then there's certain ways you can get it. You can get like onions on it, cheese on it, jalapenos. So I've never had Skyline. So anybody that knows it, I'm probably wrong on something, but I really want to go.
Okay.
I've never had chili on spaghetti, and I do want to try it. It's like a Cincinnati thing. So
Okay.
we'll see what else they have, or we'll grab you some Portillo's or something on the way.
Perfect.
Where was I going with this? No, but
I
the
have
cost,
no idea.
the cost savings. We again drury. And
Yeah.
we talk about this. You are going down. You're getting a full breakfast. When you're talking about getting waffles and sausage
Right.
and eggs and bacon and your coffees and teas and milks and all this stuff, juices, a breakfast taco, you could easily price that on property at $10 to $15 a person in your family at a quick service.
Mm-hmm.
So you're talking, if you got a family of 4, you're saving probably $40 to $50
Mm-hmm.
or more every morning if
Yeah.
you're the breakfast type.
Yeah.
When they're doing things like opening at potentially 6:30 a.m. and you're a rope dropper, you can still get down there, get your breakfast in, and still make it to Disney in plenty of time to rope drop.
Yep.
So I really do think that these are something to look at when you come down to budget.
Yeah.
Now, if you say, I have the budget to stay on Disney property, I'm going to tell you stay on Disney property. I'm not going to tell you to stay at a Springhill Suites or a Town Place or a Fair or whatever. Even though they're wonderful, it's just not the same.
Yes.
But budget really does matter. So, also in this location was great. There was a Mellow Mushroom basically right across the
Mhm.
parking lot.
They were
was
building a Starbucks.
yeah, building a Starbucks. There was a TGI Fridays and a
Buffalo,
BW3's Buffalo
mhm.
Wild Wings. I've never understood where the third W comes from.
I have no idea.
Oh, I do know now. I believe, and I could be, if you're a Buffalo Wild Wings aficionado, please tell me I'm wrong. I believe that it started in the Midwest and it was Buffalo Wild Wings and Weck, like the beef Weck sandwiches. And that's
Oh.
where it got the nickname BW3s. And I think as they expanded, they must have strictly stuck more to wings and
Okay.
took the Weck out of the name. But I
Hmm.
believe, if that's correct, that is the most useless piece of history
Yeah.
that I know
Yeah.
ever.
I agree.
And I'm actually very impressed if it is. I'll look it up after.
Okay.
And then, because somebody will correct me if I'm wrong. But Friday, we dropped Lacey off at the Hilton Orlando, which, by the way, is beautiful.
Yes, it
And
is.
that pool. Did you ever look at the pool?
I never really saw the pool.
Oh, I walked over at one point. I had to look out of like that lobby area over near the bars in the Italian restaurant. It's amazing. I
Yeah.
mean, Daniel Miller says it's one of the top pools in Central Florida, and
Nice.
I believe him. But we dropped her off, and then where did we head to? Because we wanted to do a little bit of research and fill our bellies at the same time.
Yeah, so we went over to Animal Kingdom because she had to be there at 11 a.m. and she was not dancing until 2. So there was literally nothing for us to do except sit there and watch, I guess, other dancers or go get some work done.
Yeah.
And the weird part about this thing is if you go to park at the Hilton, it was $35 to park and you can't come and go.
Yeah.
So that was just
that we were. There's no way we were.
sad.
Yeah, there's no way we were parking and leaving. So our plan was to pretty much just Uber from the Springhill Suites the whole weekend. But what were we specifically looking to try out? Because we had limited time over at Animal Kingdom.
We
so it's literally
did.
like we're gonna go and we're gonna eat.
Yeah, we were going to go and eat at Harambe Market, do a little shopping and looking for some animal print ears, but the new ones came out and I didn't find the old ones, which I was sad, but that's okay. The new ones are Loungefly. They are super cute. I like the line, but I really like the old, just plain,
Very
almost
standard,
standard leopard print.
These
But
were very pretty though.
they were. But yeah, so we mainly came over here to eat. Back at Harambe Market because it's open again.
Yeah, we have not been here in so long.
Oh my gosh.
We used to get. I mean, it's been
used to get the
pre-COVID.
Euro.
Yeah, we used to get the Euro.
Mm.
It's been pre-COVID. It's probably been 5 years or so. It is now all one. Remember, it used to have like little stands.
It
little
did.
stations.
Where then if I wanted the Euro, I was going to this one.
Yep.
If you
Somebody
wanted
else wanted
some
like a bowl, or
chicken
they
or
wanted
bowl, yeah.
Yep. There is a separate drink station. Now
There
you can
was.
get certain drinks at the main station that you're getting food from, but then there's
Mhm.
another one with additional beverages. This is of course located in the African section. As you're basically between Africa and Asia,
Mhm.
it is tucked up right there. And then African cuisine, they do take mobile orders.
Nice.
Not needed for us that day.
No.
It was a very short line. It was moving quick, but on busy days, always recommend mobile order.
Absolutely.
This is part of the dining plan under quick service, so you can use your credits there if you would like. And I think it would be a pretty good value of them. And then it opens at 10:45 a.m. And depending on the week, it closes at 3:15 to 3:45.
That's
So it is
funny.
kind of a short window
Yeah.
you want to be aware of. But let's talk about some of the menu. So they have different bowls. They do have some salads with either shrimp or chicken or none of them. And that includes quinoa, grilled corn, black-eyed peas, crispy chickpeas, and then a tremolo herbed vinaigrette. And then again, shrimp or chicken. The different rice bowls that they have, you can either get chicken and shrimp or chicken. This is a marinated chicken or peri-peri marinated shrimp on rice with kamachibari tomato salad and a tzatziki sauce. Now we ran into our good friend John Self while we we're there,
Yeah.
completely unplanned.
Yeah, it was.
Which it's pretty easy to run into John now if you're in the parks, I think.
Yeah.
And especially if you're near food.
Yeah.
So yeah, we ran into John and we chatted with him for a while, and then he was like, "Well, I'll come sit with you guys while you all eat." And he had told us, he was like, "I don't recommend the shrimp bowl." And he said, and if you want the chicken, I don't recommend the chicken and shrimp bowl. It's just not worth the extra cost for the shrimp that you're getting. So we decided on the chicken rice bowl for $12.99, which I ate most
I started
of.
to say, why are you saying we?
Yeah, that's right. And then got the
You.
beef and lamb kofta pita for
Yes.
$13.49.
That's
So
what
this
I
is
wanted.
house-made beef and lamb kofta with a tzatziki sauce, tremola, and house-made chips.
Mhm.
You want to talk about that first? I'll just say real quick, I loved it. I had a bite,
Yes,
but
you
you
did.
ate the rest.
I did, and it was fantastic. I do feel like the beef and lamb was a little on the dry side, but all the flavoring and everything was there. I love tzatziki, so I think I would have asked for an extra tzatziki on the side. And then, yeah, it was just great. I ate the whole thing. I'm not sure what kind of seasoning was on the chips, but the chips were fantastic.
They were so
They
good.
were excellent.
Nice
Absolutely.
thick kettle chips.
Mhm.
Yeah, this was delicious. You're spot on with saying that the lamb and beef was a bit dry if you ate
But
it by itself.
Right, but it
with
wasn't
that tzatziki
bad.
and everything else, it was perfect.
Yep.
And this was a real nice like pita, bread with it was nice and soft.
Mhm.
This was so good. I loved it. I would highly recommend this. And then the chicken bowl was outstanding.
Yeah, I took one bite and I thought that was fantastic
Yeah.
too.
And I was saying to John, like, it's got this tomato salad. They're saying it's like cherry tomatoes, different colored cherry tomatoes. They're cut in half
Mhm.
and they're slightly marinated. And as somebody who doesn't like a bite of a tomato, this worked perfectly. Like
Good.
it actually gave you this real nice pop of freshness,
Nice.
and it made the whole. It like lightened up the whole bowl.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you've got rice and chicken and a tzatziki, which can be heavy. I know it's Greek yogurt and all, but I loved it. I think that this is outstanding quick service restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
I still would go to Satuli Canteen over this.
Yeah.
But knowing how insane it can get over there,
Yeah.
especially during the rush of lunch hour, I would opt for this.
Mm-hmm.
I would save some headache. I know you can mobile order over there as well, but I would save the headache and I would come to Harambe Market.
We still need to go back and each get a meal at Satili because
I know that's another one. It's been a while.
It's been a long time.
So yeah, we'll see. Maybe we're going. Well, the plan is at the end of the month is to go for lunch at Tiffin's.
Okay.
But maybe on the way out we just get it to go and take it back to the Airbnb and have it for later or something.
Okay.
We could pick it up for everybody because there won't be that many of us there at that point.
Yeah.
But,
we also got the red sangria.
Mm-hmm.
Did they have red and white?
no, it was just the
Just the red? Okay.
Yeah.
It did have, it supposedly had an orange liqueur.
Serengeti sangria for $13.
Yeah. So it had a tangerine liqueur in it. I say supposedly because I got no nodes of tangerine.
No.
It was just very, to me, red sangria with red wine.
It tasted like just a bottle.
It was good.
It's fine, but I mean, it tasted like a bottled
But
or boxed sangria that you just buy.
Yeah, but
off
it was
the
weird
shelf.
because I haven't had red wine in
Yeah.
a very, very long time.
I will say
So
it was warm. It was nice out for being a red
Mm-hmm.
wine based. It was still fairly refreshing enough. Like it wasn't
Good.
too dry. It was still fairly refreshing. It went good with the meal.
Yeah, it did.
Like it would have definitely gone better with yours. I would
Yeah.
say for mine, if we had gotten, you would want to get the leopard's eye for $17. This is snow leopard vodka with passion fruit, mango, and kiwi.
Mm-hmm.
That would have paired better with what I was getting. Now that we're turning this into a pairing, cocktails and whatever, apparently. So yeah, absolutely loved Harambe Market. I thought it was outstanding. It'll be a go-to. And both of these, as far as a meal, I think they were perfectly sized.
Yes.
But if you were just like, I kind of need something to eat, I'm not starving for a whole meal, they're still very shareable. Like we could have shared the kefta or we
Yes.
could have shared the bowl. It's more of like a snack.
it would have
And
been
if
a
you're still
snack.
hungry, go around the corner and get the corn on the cob
Yes.
right there outside of Kilimanjaro. Right?
Absolutely.
All right, so we did make our way Saturday because, again, we got to drop Lacey off. There's big breaks in between dance routines and everything.
Actually, Saturday
We got
was
to see the morning one.
Yeah, she had a morning, and this is what qualified her. This dance qualified them for Sunday. But it was neat because, well, unfortunately, Friday when they did the two dances, they did not qualify for Saturday or Sunday. So literally once they danced Saturday morning, they were done.
Yeah, unless they qualified
Right.
for that one, yeah.
So, and I mean done the rest of the day
Yeah,
of Saturday.
yeah.
So she was going to make plans to go hang out with her friends. Our friends were going to take a nap. So we were like, well, let's run over to Epcot and
Mhm.
get some more flower and garden stuff, which I was very excited about.
Yeah.
So that's what we did.
So we went back to Hanami because last time we got the shaken chicken ramen.
Yes.
Right, and which was new, but also new this year. They have the steamed bun filled with vegetables and a plant-based soy meat. This is $8.50. It is snack eligible in the dining plan. $8.50. We think above $8 is not a bad spend of your
Yeah.
dining plan credits. What do you think of the steamed bun with the vegetables and this soy-based meat?
Well, the sad part is the first word is with vegetables. There was soy meat in it, but I don't really even remember seeing vegetables. I feel like I didn't taste vegetables.
If anything, this was the soy meat was almost like a paste. I feel like a little bit more. And if anything, the vegetables were all just pureed
yes, I
into
started to say.
nothingness.
It's one of
the
so let me
soy
say
meat
it this
would be
way:
my say.
if it is vegetables, it's one of these things where if you don't like vegetables, this is perfect
Yeah.
for you.
Like we talked about the Jamaican beef patty, right? Which was impossible.
Yeah.
Or we talked about, the chicken fried steak, the impossible one was supposed to be in that form. This isn't crumble. Like normally you would think of getting this steam bun and you would have crumbled beef.
Yeah.
And you would have very finely diced vegetables, carrots, onions, maybe celery, and you would see them. This was not that as far as the
It
texture
was
and the way that it was built.
crumbly though.
Little bit.
All right.
I thought it was
let's get
outstanding.
I
I loved
thought
it.
it was great.
Yeah.
The sad part is that it was a good size. It was probably the size of my hand, bun. It was a larger. It was sad though because some of them were already in the paper. And so it was sticking, and we were unfortunately losing some bun. The bun was cooked to perfection for me, and the whole like thing together, the meat and the bun and the soy taste, I loved it. I would get it again, and I would eat it honestly by myself.
I loved it. Yeah, that was my only gripe, was the fact that it stuck to the wax paper.
Yep.
And that's hard not to do. You'd literally have to spray the wax paper, unless they were putting it on the wrong side, to be honest, of the wax paper. Because isn't one side
I don't know.
more like a non-stick? So maybe that was it. But it took a lot of the outside of the bun on. But still, I thought it was so good.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one I would say, get one for yourself.
I would too.
I mean, if you're trying a lot of stuff, go ahead and split it because you want to try more stuff.
I would get this over the shaken.
Oh, 100%. I would definitely get this over the shaken ramen. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it had absolutely outstanding flavors. From there, we did end up at the refreshment port. This was a new item we did not get a chance to try last time. And they have the plant-based buffalo chicken tender poutine on crispy potato barrels with ranch and plant-based blue cheese crumbles. Again, this is plant-based. If I had not already mentioned that 3 times. This is part of the Garden Gray's food stroll. This is new. This is $10. This is not snack credit eligible.
Right.
So
which
you're gonna have to pay out of pocket.
If it was, I'd say
definitely. It'd be a great spin. Yep. But you know what? I would spend the $10 on this. I love this. We've mentioned this before. They had the Impossible Buffalo or plant-based buffalo chicken tenders before. I think it was Food and Wine, and they taste just like the chicken nuggets, the Tyson chicken nuggets you're buying at your local grocer, and you're throwing in the air fryer for the kids, and you're always going to sneak 1 or 2 of them out of there. You know, if the kid says they want 5, you make 7, right? And you eat 2 of them before you ever serve them. And they're not. Even those aren't really like chicken. You know, these aren't chicken tenders. They're these chicken nuggets, and they're great. And they remind you of your childhood, and these taste just like them. You'd be hard-pressed to know that any of this was plant-based.
I agree.
The buffalo sauce had a nice tang to it. It wasn't too spicy. This plant-based blue cheese crumbles and ranch.
Tasted just like blue cheese.
Just like it. Crispy potato barrels that stayed crispy throughout the entire time eating them. And when you got and the chicken tenders are diced up, when you got a bite of everything, this was good. This is another one. I think blind taste test. Make this exact same thing with Tyson chicken nuggets, regular blue cheese, and regular ranch, and put it up against this plant-based. You'd be very hard-pressed to tell the difference, even from the look of it. You know what I mean?
I would agree.
We go back to the biscuits and gravy with the chicken fried steak, the Impossible, right? Looking at it, you go, that's not real meat. Tasting it, you got a blind taste test that one. This one, I don't think you need to.
Possibly.
I really, really enjoyed it. Did you like it?
Oh, I loved it. It was fantastic. Everything you said is correct. And I think what we'd say that we wish there was a little more chicken tenders.
Yeah. There definitely could have been more chicken.
And it was, but it was great.
It's one of those that you're going to finish the chicken portion before you finish the barrel portion.
Oh yeah.
But then at the end, you've got crispy, which were still crispy.
Yep,
they're still smothered in ranch. And
but not too smothered either.
Buffalo, which was not
great.
So much that they weren't crisp. I loved it. I would get this again and again.
Yep.
Now, what we got with it to counterbalance the potential spice was the frozen, air quotes, mojito with Boyd and Blair rum for $13. They were selling these like hotcakes.
Yep. But they
weren't frozen. It was liquid. Except that it was, well, here's the thing. I feel like there's a difference if you have something that's frozen and it sits out and it melts, right?
Yeah.
This seemed like it was the syrupy mixture that never got the chance to freeze.
Correct.
And I just don't think their machine, because it's coming out of one of the daiquiri looking machines, I just don't think it ever got to where it needed to be. So it had this thickness to it that was a little bit off-putting. And then it just had this, I don't know if it was this specific rum. I don't know if it was too much mojito. I don't know what it was. It wasn't good even as a melted beverage. And again, they were selling these left and right, and they were just like, they were. I don't care. And nobody was complaining.
No, not that we saw.
And not that we were complaining. It just, I didn't love the flavors. You had like 1 or 2 sips, didn't you?
Yeah, it was. It was just kind of too thick. It was just, I was like, no, I'm done.
I mean, if you see this and it is frozen and you like mojitos, I would give it a shot. But to be honest, I'd maybe go find a local bar that's got mojitos around the area or something and just ask for a fresh made mojito on the rocks, basically.
Also, we had a drink earlier, which was we stopped in at
The Spice Road table.
Thank you.
Yeah, at the bar there in Morocco.
And I got a sweet tea.
Oh, yeah, what is that? It's the mint tea.
Mint tea. That's what it was.
That thing is delicious.
And I asked, and because it comes with rum, I said, "Can I get vodka?" And he said, "For $2 extra." And I said, "That's fine." And he did pull out the Kettle One, and it was fantastic. And I'm that type though. That's one drink, and I'm like, all right, I'm good. I don't want any more sweet.
Yeah.
So all this, like, and in the back to Harambe Market, there was over by that one station was Just Drinks.
Right.
Well, I was reading them all, and I was like, ugh, like it's just so
super
much
sweet
sugar
and sugary,
and
yeah.
everything, and I'm like, nope, not for me.
That mint tea is so good.
But it was good.
I would assume you can just get, like, I would like to find just the mint tea, like, to brew as a cold brew, just mint tea now. Because
sure.
I know they have, maybe your mom has some. She said she has tea. She might have mint tea.
She
I gotta
might.
take one of those after we're done.
Okay.
All right, let's finish off. We didn't, again, we had a short period of time. We would have eaten more, but we will be back. Don't
It was
worry.
very busy as
Yeah,
well.
it was very busy. I mean, we walked past Rose and Crown, and it was 20 people deep outside the door.
In a line. Literally, there was a rope.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I don't know that we've seen that since it reopened, and they were only letting in, a couple people at a time
correct.
after COVID. We
And
haven't
this
seen
was
a line out the door.
packed.
It was. So that's why we walked on the Spice Road table.
Mhm.
So yeah, we had a short amount of time. It was very, very busy. But one thing I know that Rhonda really, really wanted that's new this year from Swirled Showcase. Next time I am getting the peanut butter and grape jelly swirl soft serve.
Okay.
I'm excited for that.
Get
We'll
it.
get that in April. This is the liquid nitro honey mascarpone cheesecake with fresh honey, granulated honey, honey mead, blueberry compote, and if that wasn't enough, it is presented by the National Honey Board. This is new, and it is $5.25. It is snack eligible, but I would skip it.
Yep.
Yeah, pay out of pocket.
Pay out of pocket, though. But get it.
I'll let you go with this one because not only did you eat it, you wore it.
Well, yeah. So we did, and it's really neat because they have it right in front of the windows, making it super cool. So it's literally like in this silver container that looked like almost ice cream. And she had like an ice cream scoop, and she scooped it up and then just dropped it in the liquid nitrogen. And then this little basket-like thing that was picking them up out of the liquid nitrogen and placing them on the plate with the blueberry compote. And then they had like a little meat.
I missed that part.
What is it? A meat?
Like a
not
mallet.
Cleaver, but
not
a mallet
cleaver.
meat.
Yeah.
Where you want to beat the meat to tenderize
Alrighty.
it. He did. He took and he like just a one like.
Give it a quick smack.
It depends. Like
Was
one
that
he
before or
went
after they put the? It was so they put the honey. It was so that's how it ended up like grain. It wasn't. Did they put the granulated honey
on,
or was
and
it like
then
a
whacked
sheet
it?
and then whacked it and then that was busted it up? Because I missed that part because I was.
So
I could go back. I think I was filming it, to be honest.
he whacked one time and it didn't really. So he kind of whacked it again, which was kind of neat. I think they actually whacked it and then put the honey on after and then handed it to us. But yeah. So anyways,
It's like that blueberry compote on the edge.
all of it.
Mint leaf.
This bite, and this like melted in your mouth. This whole thing was fantastic, and it was very, very windy that day.
Yes, it was.
And we were eating, and we were about to leave, and the wind blew, and it just blew this entire dish over onto my arm, which I caught it, and then I was like, I'm gonna eat it. I was almost licking it off my arm, but I did not. But
I was almost licking it off your arm, but I did not.
It was funny because Jeremy did say, like, I was waiting for this to happen because it had not been just windy, like at that moment. It was windy all day.
You know when something happens and you're looking at it and you're like, this thing is going to happen. I'm not going to do anything about it, but it's probably going to happen. And then it happens and you're like, oh no, it did. So yeah, it was one of those, like I looked and I was like, that thing's probably going to blow over. And then I just continued to live my life.
Yeah, and then you brought me one napkin.
Yeah.
One.
Well, I felt bad because you really had to get up in there, like I was like, getting through everybody and snaking through everyone to get some napkins, and then I went back and got more. Did it come out of your shoes, your white shoes?
No, I have to.
We'll get that. Those little
I
blueberry.
meant to.
But no, and this was not like the whole thing. It's not like you had taken one bite. There was
no, there was not much.
So.
Yes, but no. Back to my shoes. I wore them to work, and I meant to when I was mixing up to color somebody's hair for bleach. I was gonna put some on, and I forgot.
Oh yeah. But highly
It'll
recommend this dessert. This would be a return dessert because I guarantee when I go back and I'm getting that peanut butter and jelly,
I'll
grape
get
jelly
that.
Soft Sweet. Yeah, you'll get this.
Absolutely.
And split it with
So
Rita
good.
because that's probably when we'll be back to try dishes again. Is that first weekend in April?
Perfect.
So we'll just close out real quick. If anybody's wondering how Lacey and her team did, and this is Lacey's final year as a middle school
Yes, it was
dancer. Hopefully she will be moving on to high school. Tryouts here are in the next month or so. And
April.
Yeah, April. So we're very excited for that for her and for the next chapter. But last year this was the first year ever that their middle school had this dance team.
Correct.
And so she was 2 years of it, only been around for 2 years. They qualified for hip hop and along with 4 other teams. So there were 5 teams that qualified, and they came in 5th place.
They did,
which they were very disappointed about.
They were.
But what we were able to say to Lacey is, you understand that still means that you're one of the top 5 middle school hip hop dance teams in the nation.
Right.
And of course, she's like, well, yeah, but some teams couldn't. I'm like, listen, you're one of the top 5 middle school hip hop dance teams in the nation. That's amazing. So very, very cool. And I will say, if you're somebody like the way that I am, and I know we've talked about my brother, is the way when you're like fascinated with the logistics of the way something is run, the way a Disney's run, right? I was fascinated with the way that this dance competition is run. First of all, it's the most organized insanity you've ever seen.
Yeah.
There's people everywhere, but the way that they get teams in and out, they get them on a practice floor beforehand. They've got area up front where, as a parent or family member or whatever, you get to sit right up front for your dancer, and then they usher you out. They bring on the next dance team, the next family in the front. It's absolutely amazing. Super impressed. And it's so cool to be a part of that. And my favorite part, as somebody, we're in March Madness. I love March Madness. You look at fan bases. Unfortunately, Duke lost last night because they played horrendously. But you look at the way that fan bases treat other fan bases and players treat other players in some of those sports. Here, there's none of that. What is so cool is you will see every dancer, even the ones they're directly competing with, cheering for the team they're competing against. And it's really cool. Down to the end, when they're announcing the 1 and 2 teams, they're like, look, first and foremost, this is about sportsmanship.
Yep.
I want you two to congratulate each other before we announce the winning team. Yep. It's okay to celebrate, but you're not rubbing it in faces. You're not whatever. You celebrate in your own way. Like, it's really, really impressive. Yep. And it was super cool to see. And I wish more of the world function that way, just in general. Yeah. So
speaking of March Madness, what's our next episode?
Yeah, super excited for Tuesday. We have one of 3 March Madness bracket challenges coming up. The one coming out on Tuesday will be a bracket challenge between Deluxe Resorts. Now, we're going to combine the Deluxe Resorts villas. So it's going to combine the resort DVC villa all as one encompassing giant thing.
And I don't have to do it with just me and you. I'm
don't.
Super excited.
We are going to, we're heading over here later this evening to good friend Chuck and Amy's. Of course, Amy from Main Street Magic Travel, Chuck, our website administrator. We're heading over there for 2 nights, and we're going to record on that. So actually, because it's perfect for them because they're both DVC, they're DVC members, and they know the DVC resorts pretty well. You know them very well. And so I will moderate, and you 3 will be the ones voting on who becomes the Disney Deluxe Resort champion. And it's great because we have 3 people, so we got a tiebreaker, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And then we are coming up. We're going to do a snack bracket challenge as well, and then we're going to do a live action movie bracket challenge, which will be super interesting. And those will be coming up. If you want to get those episodes, of course, you got to hit subscribe.
Yay!
Also, all the details are out. They are finalized for Main Street 16 Challenge Weekend, April 25th to 28th in Walt Disney World. If you go to mainstreet16.com, you can find out about our host hotel at Malia, Orlando in Celebration. You can find out about our Friday night live trivia event featuring Scott and Michelle Atwood from the Main Street Mouse, featuring Greg Gately from the Funatics blog. You're definitely going to want to be there for his presentation.
Oh, he's amazing.
Yeah, so this is what's cool. So we're going to have 5 different sections. We're going to have of trivia, 10 questions each. We're going to have a history, which is going to be run by Gary Fernando, my cohort in the planning of Main Street 16 Challenge weekend.
Perfect.
We're going to have Michelle doing parks trivia.
Perfect.
We're going to have Greg doing music trivia,
that'll
which
be fun.
will include sound bites.
Yes.
We're going to have Scott doing Marvel. And then we are going to have Star Wars.
Oh, Lord.
So I still may reach out to our good friend Michael and
Like
give
he's
him
not
some
allowed to
criteria of how hard he's allowed to make the questions. But he is a Star Wars genius.
Yes.
So I'm probably going to bring him on board, but I'll tell him, can we go moderate on them maybe this year? So it's going to be super fun. $25 at Malia, Orlando, and it's in the backyard, their outside bar and grill area right there by the
Beautiful
pool.
out there.
It will sell out. It is limited, but that $25, all of it goes, it gives you admission. All of it goes straight to Give Kids the World Village.
That's awesome.
There will be a bar, cash bar, and food on hand to purchase there. That will be Friday, April 26th from 6 to 8 p.m. On Saturday is our 16-ride challenge. We've already announced the Magic Kingdom leg. We've announced the Epcot leg. On Saturday, tomorrow, we will announce the Hollywood Studios rides.
Yay.
And on Sunday, Rhonda and I will wrap it up with our announcement of
Woo.
Animal Kingdom for all 16 rides. Go out to our social channels, Main ST Magic. There's going to be an award ceremony, which we are still finalizing at Give Kids the World Village that we're super excited about. So, again, if you can't come to trivia, if you can't participate in the challenge, oh, Rhonda, I almost forgot.
Ooh, what?
There's also a $25 raffle per entry. You can do multiple entries for a 2-night stay accommodating 4 guests
Ooh.
at a deluxe villa resort.
Nice.
So, if you would like to check that out, but again, if you can't participate in those, you can simply donate.
Yeah.
And that is at mainstreet16.com. Any bit helps. If you do not have the means to donate, totally understandable. All we ask is that you share.
Yes.
And
please.
that would help out as well. We want to raise as much money as possible. There are a lot of opportunities to do it. mainstreet16.com.
Yes.
Finally, you're on the internet, you subscribed, you're checking out mainstreet16.com. You know that we would be super thankful if you could please leave us a rating and review.
Because it helps our show grow.
That's all we've got. We'll see you real soon.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts. Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.